How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, League of Legends lovers and YouTube watchers alike? This is Twigger. I'm coming at you with another high ELO commentary, and as you guys can see in the center of your screen, the Rain Man is going to be the highlight of this high ELO commentary. He is playing Tristana in the bot lane in that AD carry role with a Taric, Boo PTT. It's going to be a very interesting game. They're going up against a very aggressive lane with Misfortune and that Thresh. No other really knowable names in here that I'm seeing. A lot of very high ELO players from what I've looked into, but the Rayman being that original top, well, I think it was the original top laner for Team Solo Mid. He did end up leaving the team. I believe it was sometime after Kiev, and they replaced him with Dyrus. He's now not actually on a team. I don't actually know if he's a sub for another team or whether or not he's just playing just regularly in the high ELO scene, or I don't think he's actually competing in anything. So we're just going to start this game off and see how he goes. He was known for playing his top laner. He actually was pretty darn famous for being that top lane Teemo that was incredible. Very hard to deal with. So going to be interesting to see how his playstyle from top lane translated into his playstyle in the bot lane. This is a very high ELO. It is a ranked game, and he does happen to get caught. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what just happened there? So luckily I did not miss anything. Holy crap, I dropped my mouse, and we have rescued it. It is good. Nothing bad happened, and I didn't miss anything. So one thing that you guys can notice, I am slowly but surely getting better at it, is that we are only 4.5 minutes into this game, and there is no first blood. So we are going to be able to see all the action on this one. We have not seen anything yet, so I know a lot of you were talking to me before that you really would like to see the first action and the first blood and stuff like that. So look at that damage actually going down onto Tristana just from that one auto attack and the Q from Misfortune after that Thresh grab. So we are going to be able to see this entire game in its entirety, get all the action, the first blood, and everything like that. So I'm very excited to be bringing that to you guys. I know a lot of people do want to see that first blood and all that action. So have a Zed going up against the Kassadin in the mid lane. Two very aggressive assassin champions. Zed, of course, being AD versus the Kassadin, who is AP. So I would have to give the advantage over to Zed. He does go on off of energy, not off of mana, so he's not dependent on that blue buff. And when you start getting both of them low, if they were both low enough to be killed, Zed could actually have a better time farming from a distance than Kassadin does. Kassadin does have his Q, his Null Sphere, to go in and actually take down those minions, but it does cost a lot of mana to actually use that. If you end up farming minions with your Q, you're not going to be able to sustain it for very long. So you have to give the advantage to Zed on that one, that if they get in that kind of threatening point, looks like actually there's a dive coming down. No, Taric's just going to flash away from that Zed, so did end up making him burn that flash. I don't know if blue team's actually going to go to try to take down this turret, but managing to get that flash out of the Taric, quite a big deal actually. Taric is a very, very scary support, especially when he has that flash available, because if he flash dazzles onto somebody, the damage that can come out is pretty immense. And it looks like we have Xin Zhao just up in that top lane camping there, and it actually gets the flip onto that Jace. Jace is knocking back Xin Zhao, manages to flash and get through that acceleration gate, just running away. It is actually faster than this Singe. Looks like he's just going to flip into his different form to try to get that extra little bit of movement speed to get away from that one. But the first turret actually going to that blue team, so 6 minutes and 40 seconds into that game, first turret's already down, that bot lane outer turret, so quite a gold lead already starting, just almost 7 minutes in, and 1,000 gold already up, so looking good for the blue team so far. Just looking at the minions as well. Oh, hold the freaking phone. I just saw Tristana's item. So Tristana not only has that Doran's Blade, but just purchased a Cage's Lucky Pick. Yep, that's a thing right now. That's happening. I don't know if Tristana's planning on going like AP Tristana. I don't see why else the Lucky Pick would be on her. Unless you just wanted like partial hybrid for farming purposes, or I don't know. I don't know. We very well might be seeing Rayman playing an AP Tristana in the bot lane. I could very well be. Who am I to possibly judge the minds of these professional players? I'm not. I can't do anything. I can't judge this at all. I have played AP Tristana, and she was seen every now and again. She does an incredible amount of burst damage. I'm not going to say that it's out of place in this team comp. You have somebody like Kassadin, you have your Tristana. And it looks like a lot of damage going down onto this Jace. Looks like Zed's actually coming in for this dive. A lot of damage going down on that Singe, but that last turret attack does not go off. The Ignite is not enough to kill him through that ultimate regen, so manages to escape that one Singe, picking up that first blood onto the Jace. Not the kind of person you want to get that first blood, that little extra gold advantage. He's going to be very, very scary if that kind of continues going on. And looks like both of those top laners are actually going for those tier of the goddesses, but a lot of damage going down onto that Zed. And wow, Skarner's just going to, good guy Gary soloing that Skarner. Damage going down also onto the Xin, but man manages to dodge at E, but just going to flash right over that wall, dodge Kassadin's E, but then Kassadin's just going to flash right on over and pick him up with his Null Sphere. So very good play on Zin's part, but also a great play on Kassadin's part, just being able to flash right over the wall after him. So one thing I was saying about Tristana is that she has an incredible amount of burst. When she wants to and she lands everything, the burst potential from Tristana is actually just incredible when she's AP. And if you get that magic penetration especially. So it could be that they're kind of building, with somebody like a Kassadin and the Skarner on their team, they could be trying to look for Skarner to just dive straight through that team and pick up the Misfortune, or even the Zed, to be honest. And they're just going to do so much damage. And so actually just going to hold that for a second. Look at the bullet time ultimate. So great combination of ultimates there. Thresh knocking down his ultimate. And looks like the double kill is actually going to go down for that MF. So very, very scary. Oh man, I don't know what you do about that one. Ooh. So that was just a great combination of ultimates there. Thresh putting down his ultimate to keep everybody in that center. They actually managed to get hit by a couple walls from that ultimate, slowing them down for long enough that Tristana got her, MF got her entire bullet time ultimate off onto those two, took them out. A lot of damage actually going down onto this Kassadin right now. The Ignite is ticking down. Is it actually going to be enough? Doesn't even need to be enough. That Shadow is just going to jump to and take him out. Skarner does have his ultimate again. Wow, really low cooldown, just soloing the Xin. And he's actually going to just solo the Xin with the red buff, so it looks like it was enough. It looks like Thresh was actually coming up towards that Skarner as well. Looks like he's just flashing over the wall to get away from that one. There was a little scuffle down in the bot lane between Tristana and the Misfortune. And it looks like we are actually seeing the AP Tristana with those sword boots. So here we go, some damage going down. Oh man, the ultimate coming out from the Rain Man, just bursting Misfortune down. So Misfortune is opting for that standard AD carry, going for that Doran's Blade and then the BF sword. So very, very different style of play here. We've got the AP Tristana versus that AD carry Misfortune. And a lot of damage going down onto this Jace from that Singe. He does miss that Shock Blast, so a lot of his damage kind of being mitigated there by not landing it. And is Singe just going to kind of chase right through there? He does have Zed support coming up here, but Jace is going to get into the brush, just knock Zed away, get into that brush. Launches out another Q, and a lot of damage going down onto them. So Zed coming in, missing a lot of abilities onto them, but it looks like the red team is actually closing in on this one. Skarner coming in from behind and Kassadin coming up that river. They are going to start spotting him with that ward in the river in top lane. Looks like they're going right into that brush, trying to hide away from this one. Wonder if they're going to just try to be. Kassadin puts down that ward and is going to see the Singe doing his damage, misses the Rift Walk, but it looks like the little kill steal right there. A lot of damage going down from the Zed onto the Jace. Jace actually gets killed by that Shadow, but they do manage to pick up that Zed, so it was a 2-for-1 exchange. And another great bullet time, actually taking down the Rain Man after that rocket jump was already down. And it looks like the damage coming down, but Terra's just going to fly. And a great grab from the Thresh! Oh, wow, what? Great Q from that Thresh, and bringing him towards the wall, and then jumping over the wall to reveal him for Misfortune. So that way Misfortune could get that extra couple of attacks off, and that double up, managing to take down that Taric as well, getting another double kill, so 4-1-0. And once Skarner is just soloing whoever he damn well pleases. So once again, fighting the Xin, he does still have double buff, and Xin does not have flash, so this is going to just be a free kill for good guy Gary on that Skarner, doing a lot of damage. So good on Skarner, sitting at 4-0-0. That's the position you want your jungler to be in. He's going to be affecting every lane, probably going to go for some early boots to just make his ganks that much harder to avoid. What is his cooldown on his ultimate right? I feel like it's always up. He's at 104 seconds, so just over a minute and a half. So I guess maybe the game's just going quickly, because I feel like he always has that damn ultimate up, like every time he seems to duel somebody. So how the hell did that work? So Jace knocking Singe back, but Singe's fling still going off on him. But a lot of damage going down onto both of them. Both his Ignite from Jace actually being used. The berry coming out from the Singe. but it just wore out, and a lot of damage coming down, and the Jace actually manages to take down that Singe. So even with the first blood, Singe was not strong enough after that barrier wore off. Jace just played that perfectly, avoided the Singe poison, walked away from that barrier when it was up, and just took it step by step. So very, very nicely played, well executed from that Jace to take down that Singe. And it looks like we're actually doing some damage onto this Thresh. It looks like they tried to start Dragon here. Thresh actually flashing away, getting that Skarner away, but here's Misfortune doing a lot of damage onto that Skarner. The Skarner gets exhausted from the Thresh, but it looks like he's going to pull right back in. The ultimate coming down from the Thresh, but far too much damage from this Tristana and the Cassidy. Manages to blow those guys up. Skarner picking up another kill, sitting at 5-0-1. So an incredible score coming out from that Skarner. Tristana did manage to pick up a kill on that one, and one thing I can say about something like an AP Tristana is you need those big AP items. It's very similar to a Cassidy where you want to get those Rabadon's Death Caps or your Rod of Ages, your Void Staff. You can't really live off of just those kind of like Magic Pen, kind of cheaper items like the Haunting Guys and your boots and things like that. You're not really going to be doing a lot of damage at all. You really want to invest in those really big AP items. And what does that mean? You need to get farm and you need to get some kills. Zed coming in onto that Cassidy and using his ultimate. Not really doing a whole ton of damage, but Cassidy looks like he's going to re-engage here with the Skarner. You got to watch out for that Zed, though. He can, exactly like that, he just jumps right back in onto that Cassidy and manages to take down Cassidy, but the Ignite ticking down, Flash being burned from the Zed, and Cassidy actually ends up picking that kill up onto the Zed. So really not the worst trade in the world. Cassidy's not going to get the experience from that Zed kill, but he does end up picking up a kill. That money's going to go straight to him. Jace is actually now being a little bit out-leagued here, being punished, so tries to jump to a minion to escape, but is not going to work. Singe ends up picking that one up with his poison. Singe is becoming a little bit of a terror now, becoming a little bit more tanky, harder to deal with, doing quite a bit of damage. He's actually picked up the Spirit of the Spectral Wraith, and it's kind of an interesting item. I don't really know why. I guess he's really kind of going for that damage to the extra damage to the monsters, but kind of interesting. The 10% cooldown reduction, it's good on Singe for his ultimate and his fling and his glue pool, but I wouldn't think that would be the best item for Singe. Just the spell vamp, and because it's a jungler item with that cooldown on smite. But what am I to say? I can't really judge these high ELO players. They know a lot about this game, and they know a lot more than I do. So maybe he's seeing something that I don't. But it doesn't look like he's actually going to be building into that Rod of Ages anytime soon. He went right for that Tear of the Goddess. And one thing that I will kind of comment on, because you're seeing it a lot more now, for people who don't understand, because I didn't understand for quite a long time until one of the professional commentators actually laid it out on the table during the LCS. When Singe gets that Tear of the Goddess, it's not every time he activates his Q, his Poison Trail, that it starts working. It's actually if he keeps his Poison Trail on every time that the Tear of the Goddess procs, so when it runs out and you can get it again, it will continue to gain mana from it. So he's going to fill that very, very quickly. Looks like we have a dive going down onto this Jace, doing a lot of damage. It's not actually a dive because the turret's actually gone. Is the Audacious Charge going to be up? It is going to be up. The ultimate coming out from that Zen. Is Red Buff going to do enough damage? It is going to do enough damage to him. Zed taking a little bit of damage from that turret and that Cassidy. Tristana using her ultimate, but not really doing a whole lot of damage, just kind of knocking people away, getting her team out of danger there. So just a free kill onto that Jace with that Xinjiao Audacious Charge. He's sitting at 1-3-0, so did manage to get that kill there. I think he kind of needed it. Was falling very far behind that Skarner, who has 5-0-2 right now. Cassidy doing quite a bit of damage to this Singe. Gets flung. Uses the Rift Walk on him. Why did you use the Rift Walk on him? What are you doing? So that's a thing. He used his Rift Walk on Singe to try to do more damage, but he's not going to be able to damage Singe that far down, so he just ended up killing himself on that one because he didn't have an escape. Should have tried to jump over the wall. Tara getting that Dazzle onto the Misfortune. Her cleanse just got used. It looks like she's going to flash away from this one. Does not want to get grabbed by the Skarner. Skarner flash grabs, goes through one of the Thresh walls, so taking a little bit of damage. But they do manage to pick up that Misfortune. They're going to pick up this Thresh as well. And so there you go. So 2-for-0. Sorry, 2-for-1 actually. No, well, 2-for-0. Cassidy actually died from Singed up there. So during that fight, it was a 2-for-0. But all in all, it was a 2-for-1 exchange. So not a bad trade for that red team. They did manage to pick up that earlier Dragon, but they're still behind about 2,000 gold just from those turrets. All three outer turrets have been taken down for the red team, and they have not managed to take down a single turret yet. So red team kind of needs to step on the pace and start taking down some turrets, because they're going to need that global gold with people like AP Tristana and Cassidy. they need those big, heavy-hitting items. And it's kind of interesting looking at Tristana's build. She's going for that Seeker's Arm Guard, which means that she's going... Oh, sorry, going to talk about that in a second, because it looks like Jace is just being caught out completely. Really overextended here, just in a very bad position. Xin and... Oh, he does manage to flash, get through his acceleration gate. Singe just has his ultimate now, so he's going to start popping that. Runs a little bit in the opposite direction, but it does not matter. Zed's going to come in. Boom, there's the ultimate doing a lot of damage. And it looks like... Oh, and Zed just ends up picking that... Oh, he didn't even use his Ignite. I guess it was the Shadow, so... Pretty good exchange there that not only did Zed pick up the kill, but he also did not even have to burn his Ignite, so he's going to have that one for the next fight, which is actually going to be quite a big deal. A lot more damage coming out from them, so... Just what I was talking about previously, getting that Seeker's Arm Guard on that Tristana, it builds into the Zhonya's Hourglass. So I think what Tristana's looking to do here is to full out engage. So, man, I can never have a second to talk. Misfortune being caught out here by the Skarner and the Taric. A lot of damage coming down from that. Oh, jeez, and Skarner ends up taking that kill. I don't know if that's exactly the best choice. He was sitting at 603. Probably should have just left that kill for Tristana there. I don't know why, because Misfortune didn't have her her flash or her cleanse. Probably should have just left that one for Tristana for her to get some kills, because Skarner sitting at 603 did not need that extra kill. But Tristana at 224 could have probably benefited quite a bit from that one. So can I actually talk about the build yet? No, of course not. Of course not. More action is going to happen here. Xin is now catching out this Kassadin, and Kassadin trying to slow Xin down. I'm surprised Kassadin has not jumped over a wall yet, jump over into Baron or something like that, but the ultimate coming down from Skarner. Zed ends up picking up the Kassadin before they pick up Xin. They do manage to pick up the Xin as well. Jace is going to take that one out. Jace does go down to that, sorry, what am I saying? Zed goes down to that Jace Ignite. And now a lot of damage being dealt onto this Cinch. He is quite tanky though, and the poison is doing some work. They're going to start chasing, but the Shock Blast does end up hitting Cinch. Looks like they're going to take this one down. And Scumbag Taric ends up taking that one with that close range Dazzle, doing quite a bit to that Singed. Takes him down. Can't complain about that one. Support getting some kills. He does actually now have that Ruby Sight Stone with that Philosopher's Stone, so he's not going to be lacking in gold, and he's going to bring a lot of vision to his team. So Taric doing quite well, but Thresh is in the exact same boat. So just, can I finally talk about this? I think there's enough people dead that I might actually be able to talk about some builds right now. So Tristana going for that Seeker's Arm Guard means that he's going for that Zhonya's Hourglass, which is actually not a bad idea. It's kind of like that whole idea for the TF ultimate, where you can ultimate right into the team, use your W, use your Q, and then immediately Zhonya's, because then they're both going to be off cooldowns while your team comes in for that fight. So you pretty much engage for your team, but you don't kill yourself just by going completely ballsy, which would normally happen. I think what Tristana might be looking to do is jump in with her rocket jump, use everything that she has, her E and her R, but it looks like something's going to happen here as well. Misfortune does not have her flash up yet, so a lot of damage coming down onto her. Who's going to pick up this kill? It's going to be the Kassadin, so definitely the person you want to start picking up some kills. Taric throwing out a stun onto this Xin, but does not have the team support. There we go, I get to have another drink. So I think what Tristana is planning on doing, using her rocket jump, getting in there, blasting everything she has, her ultimate and her E, and popping that Zhonya's, because by the time that Zhonya's comes up, I think she's hoping that an assist has occurred, or a kill. Hopefully she can jump in there and burst somebody like an MF. Hopefully she gets that assist or the kill. She'll get that reset onto her rocket jump, and then she can jump either completely out of where she put herself, or she can jump onto somebody else and try to do more damage to get another assist or another kill, and continue kind of doing that trampoline Tristana. It's going to be interesting to see if that actually pans out for him, or if he's just going to jump in and get completely annihilated. But look at the damage coming down onto that Singe, so wow. The barrier being popped by Singe as well. The flip coming down onto the Jace. Is the poison going to be enough to kill the Jace? He's trying to lifesteal, but it is not going to be enough. The shutdown bonus going onto that Singe from the Jace. And there's the ultimate going down onto that Zed, being pulled right into the Thresh ultimate. Zed actually managing to escape a little bit here. The Rain Man actually popped his ultimate to try to pick him up. The ultimate actually going to pick up that Zed. Tristana's going to try to flash jump away, but it's not going to be enough. A great bullet time going down on all three members there, but not doing a lot of damage to the Skarner or to the Taric. So 3-2 for that exchange. So very, very good for that red team. And once again, Skarner picking up a kill here. It's one of those things where it's kind of a double-edged sword, where oh my god, Home Guard boots acceleration gate, Jace. That fucking bat out of hell running out of that fountain. It's kind of one of those double-edged sword things where it's great to have kills on your jungler, because especially in that early game, because that's the guy who's going to be your front line, especially on somebody like Skarner, who's going to run through people like Singed and Xin and Thresh to get to somebody like MF to bring her back. He's going to be taking a lot of damage pretty much no matter what. I'm not going to get time to talk about this one either. It looks like they're going to jump in on her. She does have her flash available. There you go. So she's just going to flash away from that one. But hey, 2 people running at MF just caused her to burn her flash. That's a great trade. You do want Skarner to be quite tanky to be able to run through that line and not die by the time he gets up there. But it's one of those things where you're sitting at 8-0-7 now. You've taken enough kills, you're tanky enough. There's only so much carrying that Skarner's going to be able to do at this point. He really wants to be attempting to give those kills off to Kassadin and Tristana and Jace, the carries of the team who are going to be doing a lot of the damage. Especially somebody like, well, the thing is, like, Tristana's not that AD carry. I was going to say something like Tristana who's going to be doing that chunking damage in the late game to somebody like Singed, the real tanky line there, but being more the AP, she did go for that Leandri's Torment, so she will be doing that percentage. I think it's like 2% life, the current life of the champion that you're hitting with your spell, so that'll do quite a bit of damage to people like Xin and Thresh and Singed, who are going to have a little bit more health than the rest of the team, but you don't have that person in the front line to really do that chunking damage to somebody like Singed, so I think he's going to be running around a little bit more freely. And I do, of course, say that Skarner should be trying to give those kills off to the carries of the team, but I also understand that when you're in those big team fights like what's going on, you're just trying to kill people. When you don't know if somebody's going to live or die, you want them to die at least. You don't want them to live. So I understand him getting a couple of these kills. Not really a huge deal, but he's actually just going to run in here and pull the Misfortune. Her flash is down. A lot of damage coming down from the Tristana ultimate. She did miss her rocket jump, but Jace ends up picking that kill onto the Misfortune. Some poison damage going down onto Jace, but he is actually going to live. And look at the chunky damage they're actually doing on the Singed. I didn't think that was going to happen, but the ultimate coming out a little bit late from that Xin. The resets actually got onto that Tristana, so the damage coming out from her E is pretty immense. Getting that double kill onto the Xin out. Looks like they're diving in onto this Thresh, but Skarner's going to start taking a lot of damage. Don't know if he can actually deal with this. There's the shutdown, so there's a godlike shutdown, so 500 gold going onto that Xin. Not really what you wanted to have happen there. Double kill for that Zed, triple kill, quadra kill. Oh my freaking god, come on, Rayman, you have got to let this happen. Just sit down and accept it. Take the penta. You're going to take the penta away from him. Why are you doing this? I know it's a ranked game. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Thresh, don't steal it. No! Thresh. 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 So... oh, that's upsetting. I don't have the chat turned on, but I'm assuming that Zed is probably got a few select words right now. Incredible play. The Skarner really dove in very, very deep for I believe it was that Xin Zhao kill, and it got him so low that he ended up dying. And Zed just kept on jumping, and he just started just chalking up kills. And now he's sitting at 954, and he's got that Last Whisper and that Bloodthirster and that Brutalizer. This guy is doing so much armor pen, it is unreal. So people like Skarner and Tarek, who do have a lot of armor, it really is not going to matter when they're trying to 1v1 against this Zed. He's just going to pierce so much, and he actually just built that Brutalizer into a Black Cleaver, so he's going to damn near be dealing true damage to a lot of these tanks on the red team. So he's got to be very, very careful about this Zed right now. Giving him something like a quadra kill, very, very scary position to be in. Would have liked to see that pentakill. I don't think I've actually casted a game with the pentakill in it, with the high ELO commentaries. I don't believe I have, because I feel like I would have just gone nuts. But would have liked to see that, but a quadra kill is good enough. Scumbag Thresh ended up actually getting a great hook onto Tristana, but I kind of understand Zed's play of not really going in on that one. Thresh was still very healthy, and if Tristana had her resets up, like she had her W, and if she possibly had her ultimate back up, she could have bursted down Zed very easily. And a lot of damage going down onto this Tarek. It looks like they're going to try to engage on this one. He actually gets knocked back a little bit. They're trying to body block for him, but it's not going to be enough. And look at that, actually, Jace ends up getting caught as well. So, this is going to be rough, guys. I think they might actually lose an inhibitor to this one, because they have everybody still on blue team at pretty much full health. They really did not do a lot of damage at all to the blue team. Looks like this is just going to be a free inhibitor, and the scary thing about this too is that it looks like the top lane is pushing as well for this red team, and they have the inhibitor turret exposed up on that top lane, so they can push in for that top lane turret if they so choose, but it doesn't look like they're going to. It looks like they're actually going to be. Oh, and the double ward. Look at that. So you have double vision. Double vision. Oh my god. So getting the double vision onto that ward. A little bit of a miscommunication there. But I really would have expected them to try something along the lines of a Baron. Just because they still had 12 seconds on that Jace coming up. But you know what? It's completely their play. It looks like the red team's going to try to counteract that push with a dragon to try to bring their gold up a little bit more. But blue team is read right into this one. Great amount of damage coming down onto Misfortune, but here's the engagement right now. Great bullet time coming off in sync with that Thresh ultimate. A lot of damage going down onto that Zed from the Tristana with that Ignite on him. Skarner being taken down pretty low. Jace is actually going to have to get the hell out of this one. He does not want to back right there. Kassadin managing to escape for right now. The flash being pogged by the Xin. Kassadin's Riftwalk is back up, so I think he will be able to escape this one. Slows down the Singe so that way he can't grab him. Thresh actually flashing to try to grab somebody with his Q, but doesn't manage to grab anybody. But it's still a win for that blue team. They managed to get that bot lane inner turret, and it looks like they're going to steal the blue as well. Go and steal the blue, and then maybe actually try for that that free dragon down there. But it might not necessarily be as free as they want it to be, because here comes Skarner and Tristana, both at full HP now. Skarner does have that Ignite, but you know what? Really looking at them as well, the blue team is not really underly healthy. Like they're pretty, yeah. So just a free dragon. Like during that entire fight, there was so much running away from the red team that the blue team just regen their health, and they were actually pretty damn healthy. It was only Zed who really had to be to go and to regen. Oh, and Skarner manages to pick that one up. So smites that wolf just to make sure that he still gets that experience and the money from that, and that nobody on the blue team is going to be stealing that one from him. But kind of an interesting move there too, because with blue team having this kind of advantage, knowing that your opponent's smite is down, it could mean quite a lot, right? Because that means that they now have like a 60-second window where they could go and contest Baron, right? Because you are not going to be challenged for the smite. It doesn't look like that's what they're going to be doing. It looks like they're all a little bit low, a little bit skittish. Might just go back to base, use the money that they just collected, because I'm sure they're all sitting on quite a bit of gold. Yeah, a lot of people over 1,000, some sitting at 1,500, so not a bad idea for these guys to go and use their monies. But the Ignite going down onto that Misfortune, getting caught backing in a very, very bad area, and looks like, I think, that sucks. I think Kalsin was trying to give that one to Tristana, but it didn't end up working. The reset on the Tristana, though, why did you use your ultimate, Skarner? Okay, kind of some, like, don't get me wrong, I might be not seeing something here as to why people are doing the things that they're doing. I did see it looked like Kassadin was leaving that kill for Tristana. So I think it was his Ignite that ended up picking that kill up, so you can't really fault him for that. But I don't know why Skarner would use his ultimate right there when he was dead. Like, he was dead. There was no escaping that one. I guess to try to secure the kill, but that means he's not going to have his ultimate for this possible Baron engagement here, where normally the Skarner would peel, grab somebody, bring them back into the team. That cannot happen right now. So, damage being done onto this Kassadin. He rift walks away, flashes over the wall, so he's now in safety right now, but the Baron actually does manage to get picked up by the Skarner, so great smite. Did not actually get challenged for that one by the Xin, didn't even use his smite. But you can just see how tanky the Skarner is. But there you go. And oh wow, so Thresh actually picking that one up. I thought the Singe was going to pick that one up for sure, but the Baron has been picked up by the red team. And surrender vote for the red team. Why the surrender vote for the red team? You guys just picked up Baron! Shut up! Fucking drama queens! Come on, Rayman, get these guys in gear. You guys have got this. So, looking just at... So, he does now have his Zhonya's. So, Tristana now sitting with that Zhonya's. He is full AP Tristana. Looks like he's going to be building that Death Cap next. He's sitting on that needlessly large rod and the blasting wand. And I'm not seeing him do anything with the Cage's lucky pick yet. Could turn that one into a Deathfire Grasp, which is very, very good on AP Tristana. Kind of like it is on a Vhagar, just that ultimate burst. You just take somebody from 100 to 0 in one combo, just take them, pretty much delete them off the map. So I don't know why, maybe it was just a troll surrender or something like that, but now that red team is sitting on Baron, it's not a horrible position to be. If they continue to farm, they've brought the gold lead back a little bit, so it's only about 1,000 gold lead. Well, it's over 1,000, so about 1500, 1600 gold lead. So the gold lead is not outrageous. This is easily comebackable. This is definitely a pretty damn even game. The main difference, I would say, with how this game has progressed for both teams is that Skarner, the jungler on red team, has picked up the majority of those kills, especially those early kills, sitting now at 8, 2, and 11, while the kills on the opposite team, the blue team, in the early game went to Zed and went to Misfortune. So it made them very, very deadly very quickly. Misfortune has actually not been able to convert her early game domination into anything stellar. Like, she had 2 very early double kills, and then she's only gotten 1 kill since that. There's really been nothing else. She's died a bunch of times because red team has just camped her. And every time they get her flash down, you know that there's a gank just around the corner, and she has no other escape. So they've been doing a great job at really shutting her down. She has not really progressed in her item build very much at all, when you thought that being 4-1 during those very early portions of the game, that she was going to become a very, very big terror. Manages to actually grab that Zed Skarner. Great flash pull there, but great ultimate from Misfortune and from Xin. They just kept Skarner into that turret range the entire time. They're trying to do as much damage as they can. It looks like the turret's going to be taken down. Not enough damage going down onto that Zed. He does have that Warmog's armor, so he is very, very hard to take down, but look at that. They barely did anything from that Skarner grab. And I just have to mention, those ultimates were incredible on the blue team. It looks like the Xin is actually flashing over. It does get that knock up in the red buff rock onto that Tristana. Tristana's rocket jump should be up very, very soon. Just going to jump over that wall there. But the ultimates from that blue team, keeping Skarner in that turret range the entire time and using that armor shred from Misfortune and especially from Zed to just take him down. The great Q coming from that Thresh onto that Caston and manages to take him down. Misfortune picking up that kill. They take down the inhibitor again, but now they have that top lane inhibitor that actually does have a large wave of creeps on it, so they're just going to go and take that one down. Not really worried about Graves or Tristana at this point. They could probably take down this inhibitor as well. They still have another, 3 seconds until Skarner comes up, and they are decently low. So it could be a little bit scary here. Skarner does have that home guard and the movement 5 boots, so a lot of damage coming down onto it. They're going for Xin, really not the first target that you want here. Jace taking a lot of damage. Singe picking up that Jace, and now Skarner just being shredded once again by that armor shred. Zed gets taken down by AP Tristana, that Rayman taking him out. But look at the damage, and actually manages to flash that Singed fling. So that was actually pretty crucial right there, because if he got flipped, that was just going to be another easy kill. So 2 inhibitors down for that red team. And geez, I was giving them a bit of a sense of hope with that Baron buff that they might be able to kind of make something come out of this one. But the armor shred, that fight at the turret was just phenomenal. They made Skarner had a great flash grab onto that Zed, the target that you wanted dead. He had a great flash grab onto him, but it just was not enough. They did not have remotely enough damage to take down a Zed who had that Warmog's armor on him and the sustain from his... you would think from a team like this with AP Tristana and Cassidon, you have that ability to just burst him down completely. That Bloodthirster should not even have an effect on what Zed's doing, because he should be dead before he gets to hit anything. But they just did not even remotely have the burst to take down that Warmog's on the Zed, and he just got to kind of run away from that one and keep dictating fights until he finally got taken out up in the base of red team after the second inhibitor was taken down. So Skarner was just getting shredded. They have 2 Last Whispers on their team, on the Misfortune and on the Zed, and they also have that Black Cleaver on the Zed too. So not only are both Misfortune and Zed doing so much armor pen, but Zed makes it even worse for Skarner by every hit taking down his armor from that Black Cleaver. So it's making MF that much stronger against him as well. So even with that Randuin's Omen on Skarner, it is nowhere near enough armor or health to really deal with what's going on. So it looks like there might be a little bit of an engage here. They're starting to take a few turret hits. A great shock blast coming in onto that blue team. So it's one of those situations where red team really does not want to engage just because they are so far behind, but you have them all at under full health, which is important, and you still have a turret there. So I don't know if they might just let the blue team take their 3rd inhibitor and try to fight them at their inhibitors, but you run the... Oh, geez, actually ended up grabbing that Taric, but it doesn't look like anything's going to come from that one. Zed just kind of putting his ghost over, trying to do as much harass as they can, but they are getting people quite low here. So wouldn't be surprised to start seeing an engagement here. It looks like they're starting to make something, but no, Skarner's just going to back off there. So they did manage to bait the Singed ultimate. And look at the damage coming down from Kassadin. Putting that lantern down to give him a little bit of a shield, but Singed is actually taking quite a bit of damage. Interesting kind of build, having that Spirit Visage, so gaining a lot of health from that lifesteal. And wow, there you go, Tristana, blasting that Thresh down, using that Zonia so she's not just going to die immediately. Are we going to see the kind of trampoline Tristana coming out of this one? Great bullet time, hitting a lot of people. The turret actually goes down from that Misfortune, and it looks like Xin might actually die, and Xin actually does die. Tarek gets taken down by the Misfortune. It was this, Tarek actually that took down the Xin as well. Great Zonias from that Singed. Actually takes him down, and look at that, holy, Tristana just got melted. So triple kill onto that Misfortune, but a double kill onto that Jace to clean that one up. So ace for the red team. It was a 5 for 4, so really not the most stellar ace you could have asked for, but it will keep red team alive for that little bit longer. Baron is now up. It's now another active buff, so you're probably going to see the next engage going down on that one. But I really don't think at this point that red team can leave their base. I think it's just going to be a free Baron for that red team. Sorry, for that blue team. Because if they leave their base, they're going to have super minions on their Nexus turrets. And if their Nexus turrets go down, there's no more hope for this red team. They do have that third inhibitor now up and available for the blue team to take. So I think what the blue team is going to do here is they're just going to start warding up. I don't think they actually have any pink wards. They did not grab any pink wards, so they don't know if the the red team has any vision on this Baron. That actually looks pretty funny. That Zed with the home guard, arms behind, just run it. So they don't have any pink wards, so they don't know if red team actually has any vision on this. They probably assume that they don't because they haven't really left their base because of those super minions. But if red team tries to get an engagement on this Baron, they're going to have super minions in on their base, and then by the time they go back, I don't know if they're going to have enough, unless they do like a clean 5-for-0 sweep in the Baron and pick up the Baron. They're not going to have enough people to clear out the minions that are going to be in their base. Can't really let those things build up. So looks like red team's not even going to try to contest this Baron. It's just going to be a free Baron for that blue team. And interesting to see that Singed is now going back. I wonder how much money he's sitting on. Maybe there's a... So sitting on 1,600 gold. So maybe there's an item. So he's just buying that Will of the Ancients. So interesting build on Singed, I have to say. Not really as tanky as Singed would normally be. Doesn't have that Rod of the Ages. Doesn't have a Randuin's or Warden's Mail even, or anything like that. He has a little bit of magic resist coming from the Spirit Visage. He has a little bit of armor coming from the Zonias, a little bit of armor coming from his Ninja Tabby, but he hasn't even upgraded his Tear of the Goddess into the Seraph's Embrace. I'm assuming that it's filled up by now. He has 750. He got that very, very early in the game, so he hasn't even upgraded that for the shield. But he's really going for that, the Spell Vamp, and making it just that much more amplified with that Will of the Ancients. Look at that, 20% Spell Vamp, and now another 20% Spell Vamp, so 40% Spell Vamp coming out of that one. And with that Spirit Visage, you know, he's getting a lot of life back just by having his poison running that entire time on so many people. But kind of an interesting build. He's definitely not as tanky as a normal Singed would be. So he's got to really, really avoid this poke, because as we could see from the casting before, see, look at that, you're taking that poke, and he's going very, very low. But he's still scary enough. Still scary enough that you really don't want to start focusing him down. But there goes the inhibitor. Zed taking that one down. Skarner putting his ultimate onto that Singed, kind of realizing that he's not as tanky as he thought he was. Great Zonias, though, dodging that Shock Blast from the Jace. Doing a lot of damage onto that Kassadin. Zed just popping Kassadin, just deleting him from the map. There goes the ultimate from the Thresh, catching him with Rayman out. That Zonias was not going to be enough to save the Rayman in that ultimate from Thresh. I don't know how red team is going to respond to this one. They do have Jace still up, but against the 5-man force, it was 3-for-0. Looks like Thresh is going to jump in on this one. They try to knock Xinjiao back, doing a lot of damage to that Tarek. Doesn't look like they want to dive this one, but they do manage to pull Jace back and kill him. But they do take down that Misfortune in the fountain. And there you go. There's the end of the game. Singed taking that Nexus down. Really glad to see the Rayman playing. I was a big fan of the Rayman when he was playing on Team Solo Mid, and I watch his stream quite regularly just to see what he's up to. He still plays at Teemo up top. Very, very strong player. Very interesting to see something like an AP Tristana in the bottom lane with that Tarek. He didn't do half badly, I've got to give him that. but just a very well-made team comp on that blue team with all that armor shred, which dealt with that very, very fed Skarner in that early game. Once you got those last whispers and the black cleaver, the Skarner just could not dive the way that he wanted to. So very good play on the blue team's part. I hope you guys enjoyed that high ELO commentary, and I will see you guys in the next one.